And now I call to the podium our Provost, Dr. Gregory Chan.
As Provost, I'm honored to share this day with you as we celebrate the accomplishments of 247 graduating students today. Now, 3 of our finest students representing the School of Law, graduate and undergraduate fall class of 2011 will offer thoughts as they commence to the next phase of their lives as graduates of St. Thomas University. Representing the students graduated with Juris Doctor degrees is Mr. Ari David Naymand. Representing the students graduated master's degrees is Ms. Maria Anna Reno, who is receiving a Master of Science in Management with a specialization in Justice Administration. Representing the undergraduate students is Ms. Ariana Shoma. She is receiving a Bachelor of Arts in English with a specialization in writing. May I have a great law speaker? Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Monsignor Casal, Dean Ray, faculty and administration, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, family, and friends. When I was told that I was going to be the graduation speaker, I was given little direction and a lot of freedom. So I thought about how I got to this point and how I ended up in law school. I can always remember legal discussions going on in my house since I was a small child. My dad, being an attorney, would come home and discuss his day, and I'll be honest, I had no clue what he was talking about. All I really knew is that he had been to the U.S. Supreme Court twice and taken both my mom and brother, and I really wanted to go. Finally, after years of waiting, I was 13, and my dad was going again, and I could finally go. Sitting in that courtroom that day was the first time I really considered becoming an attorney, although I still had no idea what type of work or commitment that required. A few years later, I was fortunate to intern for my dad at the Attorney General's office. He taught me how to research and write. It was a remarkable experience, even though he made me use the research books and wouldn't let me use Westlaw, and I knew that this was what I wanted to do. I attended the University of Central Florida and studied criminal justice, all with the ultimate goal of attending law school. And then, when that day came to decide where I wanted to attend law school and start my legal education, I was looking for a school in Miami that had an excellent reputation, insightful and respectful professors, and caring administration. I wanted to be known, and not just another name on an attendance sheet. Those characteristics left me with only one choice: St. Thomas University. My time here at St. Thomas will forever be etched in my heart. The many opportunities I was given, both inside and outside the classroom, contributed to my growth as a student and as an individual. It was here, under the guidance of supportive professors, staff, that I became aware of the issues, realities, and perspectives that I hardly gave thought to before. I would like to express a heartfelt thanks to just a few of the many professors and individuals who have guided me throughout my time here. Professor Nathanson, you've become one of the most influential people here at St. Thomas for me, and I'm proud to have had you as a professor and a friend. Professor Sullivan, thank you for always taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to me and give me advice, both about law school and about life. And last, but certainly not least, Mickey Budlong. Thank you for always keeping me grounded during the stressful process of law review and assuring me that there's a light at the end of law review and law school. I'd now like to take time to thank my family for their endless support and love. Mom, thank you for your encouraging words, your advice, and for always believing in me at times when I gave up on myself. Dad, thank you for your support and guidance and lifelong values and morals that you have instilled in me. To my brother, thank you for keeping the child inside of me alive, for always finding a way to put a smile on my face, and for your honesty. And last but not least, my girlfriend, thank you for putting up with me, supporting me, and encouraging me through this process. To my fellow graduates, we all come from different walks of life. We all have different stories to recount our journey to St. Thomas University. And after today, we'll all embark on unique paths. Yet the common thread that runs among us is the desire for a brighter future, and despite our individualized views about what the future may look like, we chose St. Thomas University to bring us one step closer to our ultimate goal, to give us the tools we need for a better future, or simply to give us a new beginning. And what we got in return was perhaps more than we ever expected. We have each found a home here at St. Thomas, one filled with supportive and caring professors, administration, and staff, one filled with diversity and activities to accommodate an array of interests, and a sense of community based on generosity and respect. Here we have pushed to discover and challenge our abilities, interests, and our identities. I would like to leave you with these few thoughts. Nothing is ever handed to you in life. The accomplishment of your dreams and goals is only possible through dedication, passion, and effort. Don't ever become easily discouraged. Believe in yourself and your dreams. Stay determined in the face of adversity, and never let your fears hold you back. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, and while you may not fully understand circumstances or turn of events right away, in time you will. Mahatma Gandhi once said, live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Don't wait until tomorrow to do what you can do today. Sometimes taking the road less traveled leads to unexpected opportunities and memorable experiences. But never forget to maintain the curiosity of a child and embrace opportunities that will broaden or challenge your perspective. On your road to new adventures and endeavors, never forget to follow the golden rule of life and treat others as you would like to be treated. Perhaps unaware to you, your smile, kind gesture, or encouraging words can give someone that extra boost they needed. As we close this chapter and continue to write the pages of our lives, let's never forget the bridges we've crossed, the bonds we've shared, and the memories that we've made. Let us remember the important role that St. Thomas University played in helping us accomplish our many goals. Congratulations once again, and I wish each of you health, strength, prosperity, and happiness now and in the future. Thank you.
Monsignor Cassell, Provost Chan, Board of Trustees, Administration and Faculty, friends and family, and you, the graduating class of 2011. My name is Maria Annarino, and I am honored to be here today. This is about challenge. Everyone graduating today has overcome some obstacles. Some obstacles may be greater than others, however, everyone has a story. Throughout my time at St. Thomas University, I have met some remarkable people. I have met mothers who work full-time jobs, attend school full-time, and still make time to cook for their young ones. I met police officers who work the midnight shift and still come to class with the excitement to learn. Young men and young women who work and give everything they have for their education. I met fathers who work full-time jobs, attend school full-time, and still make it to their sons' baseball games. I also met an individual who was homeless, who did not let that obstacle defeat who they were or who they wanted to become. Everyone graduating today has a story. Everyone graduating be successful. The funny thing about success is it can be defined in many ways. Money, family, houses, cars, the list goes on and on. So is failure. When I was younger, I failed every single spelling test. I stumble when I read out loud, and I still stumble when I read out loud. I cut class. I almost dropped out of high school. I moved out at 17. A lot of people thought I was gonna fail. But here I am, standing in front of you all today. All that doubt and negativity pushed me to be here today. It pushed me to be successful. I define success by 3 elements. 1, faith. 2, motivation. 3, you. When talking about faith, you have to believe in yourself as God does. You are your #1 fan, but you can also be your #1 enemy. Sometimes we need inspiration. One of the professors here who was very inspirational is Dr. Lisa Knowles. Dr. Knowles and her husband started their yacht business, which is $20. $20. We can't even buy groceries with $20. But they had faith in themselves. They had their good days and their bad days, just like us, but they stuck it out, just like us. Now they are successful, and so are you. Every single one of you had faith in yourself in order to be graduating today. Since you had faith in yourself, you also had the second element of success, which is motivation. Without motivation, not one of you would be here today. Despite all the barriers and obstacles, you made time to attend class, study for tests, especially the comps. Every one of you has pushed for this moment. It was not easy, but here you are. Therefore, when starting your career or continuing your career, you have to stay motivated. Albert Einstein said, anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. At times, it may not be easy to stay motivated, but you already know this, don't you? You are a St. Thomas graduate and therefore have the ability to remain motivated and overcome obstacles that will come in the future. Finally, the last element and the most essential element, you. When I say you, I mean every single one of you controls whether or not you will achieve success. Today, because of your faith and motivation, you are graduating. You are achieving something not many people have achieved. Despite the obstacles and barriers, you have pushed yourself to be here today. This is a moment to be proud of and one you will never forget. When we leave St. Thomas, remember, success is not an accident. It does not come after you, you have to go after it. Therefore, you must have faith in yourself, stay motivated, and remember, you are success. At this time, I would like to thank God, Dean Bossy, Sarah Tusky, and St. Thomas University. St. Thomas class of 2011, congratulations, we made it.
Thank you. Archbishop Wensky, Monsignor Casal, and my fellow 2011 St. Thomas University graduates, welcome and thank you. As I stand on the precipice of receiving my diploma, I have not been able to stop the rush of memories from the past 4 years. In particular, I am transported back to Dr. Montez and my first semester English class. From that day's lecture, I have a vivid memory of Montez saying, "The scariest day of your life will be the morning after graduation when you wake up and realize, what now?" Well, after all this time, that morning is tomorrow. And as the overanalyzer that I am, I haven't been able to stop questioning myself, am I ready for the real world? To let go of all my undergraduate trappings, late night studying, paper writing, and time spent with friends in between and after class. Now, most of us are brimming with energy and excitement at the prospects that lie ahead of us. But it is only human nature to still wonder, am I ready? To know if I am ready to be a leader out there, I need to know what kind of leader I've been. All of us. In all areas of the school, I have seen forms of leadership that are inspiring. In the way that Catherine Drumheller, a previous student, and Belinda Sinatus, a St. Thomas grad, dedicated their undergraduate semester project to researching the fact that there was limited ramps and handicap-accessible entrances on campus. And through their efforts, there is now a ramp in front of Kennedy. I've seen leadership in the Writing Center as my fellow tutors and I attempt to fulfill a promise of creating better writers. Leadership is embodied in our SGA president, Diego Sanchez, in the selfless way he leads the student body. Being a leader is without a doubt seen in the dozens of St. Thomas students that have dedicated weekends and even spring break to fight the injustices faced by migrant farm workers through activism with the Coalition of Immokalee Workers. Beyond students, leadership was shown to me as each one of my professors led a class in dialogue, instilling knowledge and intellect. These individuals and more demonstrate leadership in all forms, but it has been two particular organizations and the people within them that have taught me being a leader is most exemplified in what an individual does in the face of adversity. Adversity often challenges individuals to surpass all they had thought possible. Thinking of the greatest leaders of our time, one cannot help but see the parallels between the context of their situation and the power it yielded over their persona. There is no FDR and no fear to fear without World War II. Martin Luther King Jr. would not dreamt his dreams of equality without facing the seemingly insurmountable odds of the civil rights movement. I would not be here standing as a woman today if Elizabeth Cady Stanton and fellow women in the suffrage movement had not drafted their own feminist Declaration of Rights. Gandhi's tribute to peace would not have been a reality without the oppression of a foreign monarchy. In each of these instances, these men and women had to be more than they would have ever been if adversity had never crossed their path. It is a legitimate question then to be raised if such historical adversity and the leaders who have led movements can be seen on a small liberal arts campus. My answer is yes. You see, I and other students here on this campus are a part of a large movement across the United States, the Dreamers. We call ourselves dreamers because it is better to think of ourselves as individuals enwrapped in lofty goals of aspirations one can only dream of, as opposed to how others often label us, illegal. As young people, we have faced more odds than some will face in their lifetime. Over 63% of us have lived in America over 10 years, yet we are still outsiders. We have seen families torn apart, we have witnessed other dreamer students give up on their college goals, and we live in daily fear of today being the day we are uprooted from our lives and separated from everything we know. So yes, we dreamers know what it means to face adversity, but we are not the only ones. Recently, Joaquin Luna of Texas committed suicide because he was undocumented and felt no hope for his future. Similar stories have been heard throughout the LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered community, as young people across the country have taken their own lives after feeling all hope for a better future had been extinguished. Together, these two communities represent all the minority communities striving to live in a world where perhaps they don't feel equal. They don't feel their voices have been heard, that their hope is almost gone. But in the words of Harvey Milk, I know that you cannot live on hope alone, but without it, life is not worth living. You've got to give them hope. It is on the St. Thomas campus that I have seen such hope embodied. When Diego Sanchez, Adrian Escarte, Felipe, and I, all St. Thomas dreamers, march and protest, we keep hope alive. When I join with the Psychology Club president, Evelyn Castillo, its e-board, and Dr. Grace, as we spearhead the Bridging the Gap events between LGBT and straight individuals, we have given hope a fighting chance. And when the St. Thomas community joins us in support, we have not let the guiding light of hope dim. Being a leader in times of peace is tough enough, but try being one in the face of opposition. In both movements, they tell us, you're wrong, you're not equal, you have no right to do that, to be here, you're fighting in vain. That's the way things have always been, that's the way they should be. Alone, I would have been crushed under these odds. But in my time at St. Thomas, I have grown so much that I can hardly believe it. When I was first a student at St. Thomas, I was in the shadow, the way dreamers are known if they are not open about their status or not. Each day, I was fraught with worry that someone would find out, I would be kicked out of school, my darkest secret would be unearthed for all to see. Filled with angst and worry, it was only with the help of the St. Thomas community that I let go of my cloak of shame and stood proud for the first time that I have lived here for 16 years. So one may ask, what has my journey at St. Thomas entailed? How have I developed into a leader? Well, that journey has been filled with highs and lows, elation and worry, joys. I will always be thankful. Being the leader is not anything I could have done alone. It is instead a collage of my 4 years at St. Thomas. It is the little pieces that I have taken from each St. Thomas student, faculty, and staff. Together, these little pieces of knowledge, wisdom, and knowing how to be a leader in the face of adversity is what makes up Ariane Schomer, St. Thomas graduate. It is these pieces that I will take with me as I travel to England to pursue the education that I cannot continue here. I challenge then my fellow 2011 graduates. Go out and continue advocating for those without a voice. Stand for your convictions. Fight for equal rights for all, regardless of the status quo and what other tells you is impossible. So tomorrow morning, as I wake up and wonder, what now? I'll be able to safely say, if the next few years are anything like the last 4, bring it on. I can face anything head on with a little help from my friends. Thank you and good luck in all your endeavors.